Hey guys, on this episode of Gaming and Collecting, me and Alex are going to be revisiting our annual Top 25 Anime List Showcase, going over our favorite shows and seeing how things have shifted around on our lists. It's always very fun and interesting to see. But anyways, guys, on to the intro music. So how you been?
No, I haven't been.
Oh,
I have
you're
been.
dead. I see.
I've been. How have you been, Bill?
I'm tired.
You're tired?
Yeah.
Hi, tired. Nice to meet you. I'm Alex.
This week's been a lot.
It has, but I agree with you. Like today, I woke up and I was like, what the hell? Like, why do I have to get up? And then I was like, oh, I gotta work.
You didn't even have to work Mondays.
I know. But it was rough getting back into it. It was definitely rough.
Yeah.
Hey, but you don't have to work next Monday.
Yeah, as I'm getting my fucking teeth ripped out, so.
You're not getting them ripped out. You're getting your wisdom teeth out. You're going to lose some wisdom, but you'll lose some pain too, so it'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks because of course it's acting up the week before, like, because it knows.
Yeah. Well, you have the painkillers if you want to go it, but I would wait until after.
It's like too late now to take that, like, because I'd have to start it and.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Well, just get ready. Well, I'm excited because I'm definitely taking videos of Bill if he says anything funny while he's drugged up. So get ready. I'll put him in the Discord. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Well, you can't be stupider than what I said when I got my wisdom teeth out. I saw like a fly, and I guess I saw it like multiple times, and I named it after the members of Rush, the band members of Rush. And Mom was very confused, and so were the nurses, and they were just like, whatever. That's what I did. So that's pretty embarrassing. So I can't wait to embarrass you. Anything else? What? Hiccup. Anything else? Oh, you want to hear a poo-poo story?
What did Pooh do?
What did Pooh do? Well, she keeps ripping my curtains down. Oh, you can see her, Bill. You see it?
Yeah.
You see it? She keeps ripping my curtains down. Yeah. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Stop ripping my curtains down. She's actively sitting on the curtain right now to spite me. Because I yelled at her. Because she keeps licking the windowsill. Like, there are spots in my window where she has licked the varnish. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, she just keeps doing it. I don't know. What is that? What are you drinking?
Liquid Death.
How many calories?
I don't care.
How much sugar? We need the facts, Bill!
Finish your Pooh story.
No, that was it. She's just a little shit, and I don't know what to do with her. But Mom had fun. Mom visited this last weekend, and we painted my stairwell, so now it matches the rest of my house. But there's a bunch of green skid marks on the ceiling.
Yeah, same with my house. It happens. You kind of just have to accept it. Yeah. We went up and put a fucking heat shield in my attic, so.
Nice. Has it been helping?
I think so, a little. It's weird because it's actually been kind of cool lately. So.
Yeah. I don't know. It got hotter last night.
I didn't notice, so.
It's working because I felt like it was toastier last night. So.
Yeah, but you're also way more susceptible to heat than I am.
Yeah, I get hot and I'm like, I can't sleep. So. That's what my mattress helps with. It has cooling fibers. Ooh, fibers, cooling.
Yeah. There was a massive car accident on
Going home today?
No, Monday. So
Monday? Oh, I was gonna say when. Not for me.
Yeah, you missed it. There was a big one on Monday. It's been It's just such a thing that happens so often now. I don't even like get phased by it.
Yeah, you're just like another day, another body in my truck. Phil just shook his head for the listeners because there is no viewing of this one because I have no makeup on.
Anyways,
you could put like a slideshow, like of the show. You could throw something together with the audio. You could do it. I believe in you. Or maybe get some AI to AI me to look beautiful instead of hideous, like the hideous one. Because I'm hideous even with makeup on. But like, it's okay. I had a thingy and I lost it. Dude, what is that? What the fuck is that? What are you drinking?
You've already asked this.
You have a new drink. You opened a new one. What is it?
Let's move on. I'm done with this topic.
I can't find the thing I dropped. I gotta find it because if I don't find it, Miss Pooh's gonna eat it.
Is this gonna be a long-term thing?
I hope not. I can't find. All right, I guess I'll find it after. I don't know where it went. Maybe I'm sitting on it. Oh, I found it. It was in the chair.
Wonderful. All right, so let's get into our topic.
What's the topic?
Anyways,
well, I don't. So, wait. I really need you. What's the topic? I don't know what that means.
I'm not.
Can you give me the definition?
This joke is so stupid. I'm not even acknowledging it.
and you still want me to be your co-host?
This running joke isn't.
Stupid jokes are my thing. You bitch.
To be a joke, it has to be funny. There was nothing funny about that.
Yeah, what? What's the topic? Can you give me the definition?
You've only done how many episodes of this goddamn show?
What episode number is this?
It's 186.
Damn. Are you sure? I think you did your math wrong. I think this is episode 22.
All right, let's move on to the topic.
22.
So, we've done this.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
So we've done this a few times in the past. We've done, starting, I think it was season 2, we did a top 25 anime list episode. And then we followed that up with the roundtable. And then we did another one in 2023. And it kind of has become kind of just a ongoing tradition of the show yearly. So we basically decided let's do another one for this year, because the funnest part of these is not only going into them blind and seeing what changes on the list, but it's also fun to see kind of how things have moved around just over the year. So what we're going to do is we're going to structure this similarly to last year, where we did, I guess I'll start, then you start. We'll start from 25 and count down to 1.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Probably lose count along the way.
We'll see. And then we'll go from basically we'll kind of go one by one, give a little spiel, talk about why if it moved or if it's new, and we'll go on from there and see how it goes. So let's see. Let's do our top 25 anime lists 2024.
Woo! So that was me excited. Yeah.
Starting off,
jazz.
Number 25 for me, I have Full Metal Panic, which has dropped significantly, seeing as previously it was number 20 on my list.
Not that big of a drop, I would say.
It went from being sort of in the middle to now it's right at the end on the borderline of being dropped off the list. I'd say, honestly, it's not because I dislike the show. I think it's more just other shows have kind of have basically they've overtaken it in terms of popularity, and
there's a lot of good shows that are coming out too.
There is, and also gained appreciation for other shows. Things have shifted around. It still made the list. I still enjoy the show. It is a very weird show. Like it's a weird hybrid. The only
Couldn't
mech
get into
anime. Hmm?
I couldn't get into it, but
I know.
I can see why people appreciate it.
It's one of the only mech shows I can watch. It's got a weird hybrid of like high school slice of life, mech action, comedy. The second season is entirely comedy, and then the third season is almost entirely action. It's bizarre, but
Yep.
I still enjoy it to this day. It is a very old anime at this point, like early 2000s, but still made my list. What's your
Good for you.
25?
My number 25 has not changed. It is Sailor Moon, and it will stay there forever because Sailor Moon should always be appreciated. It's a great classic show, and it brought me into anime. It was my first anime, I think, pretty much. So it was my first, and it will always be on my list, and it will always hold that spot because I can't say it's not that it's a classic, but when you go and watch it back, you're like, wow, this is not that great. Just in
Well,
terms, I mean, like in terms of after I've read the manga, comparing it to the original, because I'm not talking about Crystal, I'm just talking about classic Sailor Moon. It really does diverge from the manga, and I
well,
feel
yeah.
like it takes away from some of the storylines. So I can't say that it's a perfect retelling of the manga is the way to go, in my
I
opinion.
I
Read the
will
manga.
say the more recent Viz redub has helped it be a little bit less stupid. It's
No,
still
no, and I agree, but also just if you read the manga versus what you see on the show, the story is so different. And the story
well,
is
yeah.
so much better in the manga. It's so much better. So it'll always be on my list because it's classic and it means a lot to me in terms of like, follow like having this passion for this type of content. But it's not that great of a show compared like it's not that great anymore. They tried to revive it and they did it poorly. And they kind of, I mean, the later ones, the movies have all been really good, but the original revival series they fucked up by doing really shitty CGI, and I'm still disappointed to this day. But yeah, that's my 25.
All right.
Woo!
So on to 24 now. So my 24 is Naruto Shippuden, which actually went up a one because it was at the end of my list last year. And it's mostly here just because I enjoy Naruto Shippuden, but it wasn't a show I was super nostalgic for. And honestly, it survived mostly just because it's a classic.
Yeah.
Like it's still a great show. It has a lot of filler that's downright unnecessary. And it's not the easiest to recommend just because of its insane length, but I still do enjoy it, especially the ending. Like I really did like how it wrapped up. But yeah, so Naruto Shippuden went up one despite basically being exactly the same place it was before. What's your 24?
My number 24 is a new pick. It's a show I've actually watched pretty recently, but I really enjoyed it. But I'm still it was only one season, 12 episodes, so I couldn't really give it a full super, super high ranking, but I'm excited to see where it goes. And it's Windbreaker. And just, I guess, a quick summary for those who haven't seen quick Windbreaker. It's all centered around this main character, Sakura, who was kind of an outcast. He basically got put into this role as this delinquent basically because of his appearance and his lack of like social skills. So he has half of his hair is black with like a dark colored eye, and then the other half is white with a gold eye. So he had like a automatic delinquent appearance, but he's
Most
not dying.
normal,
No,
most
yeah,
normal
most normal anime
protagonist.
protagonist, but because of that, it kind of put him in his delinquent point. So he ended up going to the school where it ends up that the town in the school is famous for gangs. And he joins because he wants to basically become number one in the school. But what he quickly learns is that it's not your normal type of gang. This gang has come together to protect and save the town, and they go by Boferin. So basically, he comes in thinking it's gonna be I'm gonna fight to win, but he has to learn to discover teamwork and friendship along the way. So it's a pretty good. I really like the story. The characters are very well developed. especially Sakura, you really enjoy watching him kind of grow and kind of learn that he can't go it alone. He has to become a team. He has to, make friends and have support along the way. He can't do it on his own. So it's interesting to see, and I'm looking forward to season 2. Windbreaker.
Nice. So my number 23 pick for this episode, a new entry on my list. It is actually Jujutsu Kaisen.
Woo!
It made the list this time, but it didn't it didn't get super high because fucking depression, man.
Yeah.
Like, I have been really into that show, but holy fuck, that
holy characters dying.
The final spoiler warning. Yeah, it's a GNC show, but spoiler warning.
And you haven't even seen all of them because you've only been watching the anime.
I'm the manga. I know a few specific ones because of unrelated memes on fucking Oshinoko subreddits of all things. But basically, I was basically like, I really like this show, but holy fuck, the end of season 2 was fucking miserable to watch because it was like, who's gonna die this week?
Let's find out.
I do like the show though.
Was this person your favorite character? Not anymore.
Yeah. I will say beautiful animation, RIP the staff at Mappa.
And poor guys.
The music and generally everything about it is really good. Just holy fuck. Like, it is a show that just punches you while you're down.
Yeah.
But it made my list. It wasn't on my list the previous year.
Good for you. It's on my list, but not next.
So what's your 23?
My 23 is Blue Lock. I gave Blue Lock a second chance. I went into it with the wrong mindset. So when I originally watched Blue Lock, I went into it with the mindset that it would be like Haikyuu, a fun anime where
every sports anime is like
Haikyuu. I thought it would be like that. And then when it wasn't, I was like, I don't know how to feel about this. And then, so I gave it a pause. And then recently, one of my friends was bugging me and he was like, you need to watch it so we can watch the movie together. And I was like, okay, fine. So I went back and rewatched it. And then I was like, holy shit, this is good. I like this. So I went back and rewatched it. I was like, I love me my sports boy anime. So let's go. So
Alex's initial watching, not Haikyuu 0 out of 10. Do not watch.
Yeah. I wanted more Haikyuu. And I didn't get that, but I got something equally pretty good, but a total different story because in this one, the main thing is like everyone is like the same player and they all get put into this facility called Blue Lock. So they're basically like training to become number one. Like only one person is going to be the person who leads the national Japan team because the national Japan team apparently is really bad. And they kind of go by like the normal culture of like, we need to be a team. But in this show, it's like, it's all about ego and you have to be an egoist and like everyone, you have to be out for yourself and only number one. And it's pretty cool because tensions get high and a lot of the characters like get all in their, it's good. I really enjoyed it. So I'm glad I gave it a second chance when I put myself in the mindset, this is not Haikyuu. This is a very different show. It's sports, but not that. And it was very good. So I recommend. Just don't go into the mindset that it's Haikyuu like I did, and you'll enjoy it.
Fun. So for my number 22 pick, this one also is from my previous list. It actually has gone up 2 spots somehow, probably because other shows got removed. But it is Persona 4: The Animation.
Ah, yes.
My favorite game-based anime by far. And that's because the Persona 4 anime is just legitimately really good.
It's very funny.
It follows the story of the original game, not Golden, because there is a Golden anime, but that one kind of sucks.
We don't talk about that.
It's not dubbed anyways, and it barely follows the actual game. It just kind of follows the Mary stuff, which is fine, but I don't really care for it. The original anime though, like, follows the main base game to like a T, and it like fleshes out a bunch of the lesser social links that didn't get as much attention. Almost all the voice cast returns for it. They turned it was basically what started the Unard Kami as a mimetic badass trend.
Yes.
Um,
Oh,
and
they gave him so much life as a character.
And it's legitimately just funny. Like it is a really funny anime.
Yep.
Great way to experience the game if you don't have time to play a almost 100-hour RPG.
Yeah.
That is also my only game anime on the list. The other ones I had previously have sadly left the list this year.
Wah, wah, wah.
But what's your number 22, Alex?
My number 22 is Zom 100 Bucket List of a Dead. This one we watched pretty recently, and we talked about it on the podcast pretty recently.
This one hovered around like the list, but my reasoning for not including it was mostly just because I want to wait till the next season comes out and see how it's kind of like Jujutsu Kaisen, like where the first year, like I liked it, but I hadn't seen season 2 yet. And then after seeing season 2, I was like, yeah, I like this one.
I agree. I kind of had that with some of my other ones. Like Windbreaker, I was kind of on the same boat, but this one, like, I just enjoyed the shit out of the show. Like, I had such a good time. And like it's funny because like there's a show I'm just started right now, and I was so tempted to put it on the list, but I'm only 4 episodes in, so I'm like I can't do it, but it will probably make the list next year. Or if we do like a friend one, it might get on that top 10 list. But yeah, I really enjoyed Zom 100. Like it was just like it was so fun. It was one like to me, like if I am watching a show and I don't pick up my phone and I watch it straight through the whole time, I know I really enjoyed the show. And that was definitely this one was that. It was I really enjoyed it. And I also think I liked it too a lot because I don't really like zombie things, and this was one of the only things I've ever enjoyed that had zombies in it. I don't know, zombies just kind of freak me out. It just feels like it could happen, which kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like the zombie virus could happen.
It's literally a story based around a world where like there's a zombie apocalypse, but the main character is apathetic as fuck.
And honestly, like I feel like if like I was in the zombie apocalypse at that point, like I'd be like, fuck it, like let's do a bucket list at that point, you know. So I kind of get the vibe. It's just really fun and enjoyable. So yeah, it made my list.
Nice. It did not make my list, but it was in the running for a bit. So for my 21st pick, it's another returning entry. It's dropped down a lot from my previous list. Previously, it was number 13. Now it's down to 21. But it is Hayuka. And Hayuka is a slice of life kind of borderline rom-com, like romance anime, but the way they changed this one up is it has a mystery aspect to it where one of the running themes is like every episode there's kind of like a mystery that they have to solve going on in the school based off of some weird. No, not really that goofy. This is more kind of like something they'll find something.
Scooby-Doo.
No, because it's Scooby-Doo's inherently goofy no matter what.
Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Also, Scooby-Doo plots are incredibly predictable. Like,
how fucking dare you?
But yeah, it's very much a like kind of like mystery aspect to it where like they'll have like each episode has kind of like a thing, and then they go through the whole episode trying to solve said thing. It's fun and cute. It's kind of quirky. It's based off a series of novels, which is kind of interesting. I've heard it goes on farther, but they never adapted any of the later stuff.
Okay.
It's a fun little show though. I enjoy it. That's why it's still on the list, although it's starting to teeter towards falling off.
Unless it comes out with another season, it's on the verge.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's just kind of other things have just shown up that I like more. So,
yeah,
you know. But yeah, that's my 21. What is your 21st pick, Alex?
My 21st pick, you're going to be happy about this, Bill. It made the list this year. Spy Family. That movie just like, season 2, it really got me into the show. Especially Bond Bath. That scene really got me hooked. And then the movie
Yours Butt.
Yeah, and the Your Butt. So yeah, it definitely season 2 in the movie, it really got me on board, and I'm really excited to see what's to come in the future. Yeah, that's it. That's like it's always teetered on the list, but it finally just got there. Like finally enough happened. I was just like, you know what? It's happening.
You finally became a fan.
I did. I mean, it's not like I ever hated it. Like I definitely did dislike it, but it was just it never pushed me to put it on the list before. But season 2, I was like, yeah. Like I was hooked. And the same thing again, like I could watch the whole thing without looking at my phone, which says a lot. So
basically hype achieved, essentially.
yes, I get it. I get the hype now. I'm sorry, okay? No. I'm sorry.
I forgot it didn't make your list the last year.
Nope, it didn't make my list any of the years. This is the first time.
Nice. Well, for my number 20 pick, this is my nostalgia pick that's kind of hovered around different spots on the list over the years. So my number 20 pick, it fell down one place, but it is Ronin Warriors, my first anime that got me into anime in general.
Aww.
Also known as Samurai Troopers. It is essentially a male version of Sailor Moon in a sense, or Power Ranger, another kind of Power Rangers, where essentially it's a bunch of samurais and they transform and solve problems, and they have a tiger that follows them around. I always remember this one because it always aired right after Sailor Moon back in the day on Toonami. So like when you were done, that's kind of would come on and I'd watch that.
Yeah.
It was good times though. It's cheesy, but it has a dub for the time that was pretty decent. And it's held up remarkably well. I just got the DVD Blu-ray set from Distork or whatever media. So I'm looking forward to giving it another watch at some point soon.
Nice.
So what's your 21? I mean 20, Alex.
I have to find it. Oh, okay. So my 20, this one was higher on my list. It dropped down. It was 14 last year. Now it's dropped to 20. And this one's also for me kind of not as nostalgia, but a little. I mean, basically from when it came out, it's kind of nostalgic now. But Death Parade. Love Death Parade. It's one of my favorite shows. It's one of the ones I recommend to everyone if you're into horror, kind of scary, but also mystery vibes. Definitely a good watch. And just psychological. It's not really like horror scary, like scary. It's more like the psychologicalness of it and like the intensity and the mystery and like figuring out where the story pulls you in different ways, and you kind of it's very good, very very good. I tell people to watch it.
It's not so much it's scary or like disturbing. It's shocking and kind of hits you in the feels.
Yeah, it's very feels shock heavy with mystery. So, but there is some spooky parts of it as well. I mean, just the whole aspect of it. It's a show around what happens when you die. You know.
The poor girl who fucking slipped on the soap in the shower.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then got stuck in purgatory.
Yep, with an idol. But it's those moments where like it finally clicks that they're dead. Those are the ones that hit you the most when they finally realize like we're dead. We died.
Well, like the most shocking scene is when like you finally get to see actually how they died, and you're like, wow, that's sad. Especially
like the main girl, which I don't want to spoil in case anyone hasn't watched it or listened to our podcast, but hers is very tragic and very heartbreaking. Yeah. When you learn her story, like it gut punches you. So definitely recommend. Now it's making me want to rewatch it, so I may rewatch it after I finish the show I'm watching now.
Well, it's a quick 12er, so it shouldn't take much time.
It shouldn't.
So anyways, now moving on to my number 19 pick. It actually went up a couple of spaces from last year. Last year it was 20. It was 21. Now it's 19, and that is Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
I've been kind of in a Dragon Ball mood as of late, most probably because
hype for Daima.
Hype for Daima, like also like we lost Toriyama this year, so there's been a lot of.
Oh yeah.
it's kind of been just like something that's been on my mind lately. But I mean, Z isn't my favorite of the Dragon Balls, but I do enjoy it. Obviously, by saying that, it's implied that the other two are on here as well.
It is.
Um, but I like Z. Z is a fun story. A lot of action, iconic. Like I remember many of these episodes from back in the day, and it's
So
just
many
fun.
memes too.
Yeah, it's just fun to watch. Like it's a very entertaining show. But yeah, that's basically all I can really say about Z. Without, if you want to hear more about Z, listen to me and Matt's 4 hour
Hey,
fucking
no
retrospective.
plugging other shows on here. This is GNC only time.
It's another GNC show. I can plug what I want.
Fuck you. What is here? Don't go watch that. Screw you. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Go watch it. But also, don't. Right.
So what's your number 19?
My number 19 is Mashley Magic and Muscles. This one was new.
That's a
I
name.
remember I watched season 1 like last year, and I thought it was good. I wasn't super into it, and then that banger of an outro came out, and I was like, okay, I gotta give this another chance for season 2. So I rewatched season 1, and I was like, I don't know if it was just the outro just getting me hyped. Even though it wasn't the outro for season 1, it was the one for season 2, but I was so excited to just listen to that outro, the intro. It's an intro, not an outro. Intro every time. That I was like, whatever. So I rewatched it with like new vigor, and then I get to season 2, and I'm like, this is fucking great. So honestly, listen to Creepy Nuts. It's it's like Bling Blong Blong. That's the name of the band.
Creepy Nuts.
Look it up, Bill. I'm sure you've already heard it because it was like very much circulating. But damn, it got me into this. So if you have a great intro or outro, I'm hooked. I'm gonna watch it regardless. So even if it's shit. So and I watched it. I thought it was great, really funny. It's just a stupid story. Like it's about this guy who's in a world of everyone's magical and has magic powers, and he's got nothing. But guess what? He's buff, so he's gonna make his own magic with his muscles, and that's really the plot.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a good
All right.
one. I like it.
So my number 17 is a new entry on the list and one that we watched somewhat recently. So wasn't on my list at all, but it is My Happy Marriage.
Nice.
This one was borderline for a bit. I wasn't sure if I wanted to add it because for similar reasons to why I didn't put Zom on, we've only got one season so far, and who knows, season 2 might not be as good. But this one just kind of hit me. Like it was one of those ones where like I only watched.
Bill.
What?
I have good taste, Bill. I pick the great shows. I get you into all this shit.
Yes, but what I was going to say is though this was one of those ones where it was very similar to like the first time I've watched like a couple shows that'll be on my list later, where like I started watching it and I couldn't stop. Like I had to stop because I had to go to work the next day, but then I finished it up the following day, and it was just like one of those shows where when you have to stop halfway through and then you think about it all fucking
all
day
day. Yep.
because you want to know what happens next.
That was the same with this one for me too.
See, Zom on the other hand was like a one and done. I sat through it in a day and finished it and enjoyed my sitting, but I didn't really think about it much after.
Yeah.
But yeah, My Happy Marriage. I'm very much looking forward to season 2, and I have the light novels now. I'm gonna probably start reading those at some point just because I want to see where the story goes.
Yeah.
Great animation too, and just it's a lot of really depressing shows on on our lists.
Yeah, it's a trend. It's a trend.
But Alex, what is your number 17?
Wait, hold. Sorry, I'm like making notes on them. My number 17. It was originally number 10 on my last list, but it's kind of dropped down. But that time I was reincarnated as a slime. I still love the show, but I have not seen the newest season yet.
Okay.
And not that the last. It's honestly, it's just like it's had a bit of a break, so I just hasn't really been on the radar. So it just dropped down a bit. And just a lot of really banger shows have come out in between then that have just like, I'm sorry. It's just there's just better shows out there right now. And maybe it will move up again once I watch the newest season, but it's just there wasn't any content. I haven't seen the newest season, so it got moved down. Womp womp.
That's fair. I'm currently watching season 3, so like you will be getting to. I'll save that for when we get to it because it's obviously going to be on my list later.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, on to my number. Oh, I fucked up the numbering. My actual number 17. I meant 18 before. 17 now. 17 now.
I knew this would happen.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, my next pick is for number 17. Another pick that's returning. It's fallen. Actually, no, it's actually gone up one. But it's Mariko-chan. And Mariko-chan is. So it was a 1-season anime, which kind of bummed because the manga does go on farther. But so I'm not a big horror guy, but Mariko-chan is like the one exception to that because it is a horror comedy anime where it's like the whole joke is the main character could just see like fucking zombies and like ghouls and demons everywhere.
Yep.
Like dead things basically. And she's basically being mentally tortured in every episode because she's the only one that can see these things, these fucked up abominations. And it's like basically her whole goal is she can't like acknowledge that she can see them because if she does, then they'll know that she can see them and they'll start messing with her. But so she's basically in a living hell where she like is constantly like trying to avoid these things.
Yep.
And it's always comedic stuff is going on because no one else can see them. So like they're like messing with stuff. She's like trying to not acknowledge it. It's just it's funny shit. Like, I really like it and I like the manga. It's got a cool art style to it. But yeah, Mariko-chan.
Nice.
So what's your number 17, Alex?
My number. Are you sure it's 17?
Yes, it's 17. I looked this.
My number 17, it was another one that dropped. It was number 8 on my list last year.
Ooh.
But I still really love the show. Just I haven't put as much, thought into it, but I still love it. Yu Yu Hakusho. It went from number 8 to number 17. And I love it. Like I still really good. It has my favorite character, Messi. That's not his name, but that's what I call him, and I will still call him to this day. And Bobo, and it's just a good one. It's a classic show. And honestly, I mean, I loved Hunter x Hunter too, but I don't know. I just really like Yu Yu Hakusho a bit more for some reason. I don't know why. I just really liked it. So
hasn't it been a while since you've watched Hunter x Hunter though?
It has been a while. And
that might be it.
Did not make my list this year, so sorry.
Maybe if you rewatch it, you'll get a better appreciation for it.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed Yu Yu Hakusho. Love the characters. Just sad how it ended.
Well, the ending is good. It's that sees the final arc.
The final arc could have been better.
I'll save my thoughts on Yu Yu Hakusho for later. So going on to So going on to number 16, it is another returning entry, although it's fallen down one spot on the list, and that is Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man didn't make my list this year. Whoops.
So Chainsaw Man was one that I was it was also kind of near the bottom, and that's not because I don't like the anime. It's mostly just because we've kind of been in a slump waiting for the next season of that.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Because they're doing a movie, not a season yet. And it doesn't have like the staying power that some of my other shows that are closer to the top have in terms of just like, even though they haven't had a season in a while. But I really like Chainsaw Man. I think one of the reasons why Chainsaw Man kind of survived is because I'm really into the manga.
So yeah, I think that helps a lot too. When you're consistently reading the manga, it definitely pushes it from,
Yeah, but it's still a great story, amazing animation, R.I.P. Mappa
Yeah.
employees, and
Right.
great story, great characters. Also, like Jujutsu Kaisen, don't get attached to any of them. That's
Nope,
all
nope,
I'll say.
no. Nope, no,
Um,
no.
but yeah, I'm looking forward to that movie when it comes out, and I'm pretty sure after the movie, it'll probably jump up a little bit on my list.
I know that's the hard part because like there's some are coming out, but you can't justify it right now.
There's a
Um,
there's a couple on my list last year that got bumped off just because of lack of new seasons, or like seasons, or like the stuff that was coming out just wasn't good. So,
yeah.
but yeah, so now moving on, what is your number 16?
My number 16 is drum roll, please. Da, 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 da. It moved up actually from 22 last year, and that's the Disastrous Life of Psyche K. I just freaking love this show. Like, it's one of those ones that I just put on and just laugh at because it's so ridiculous. It's so stupid. Has my favorite character, the butt cheek man, who's so stupid, but we love him. And then like Psyche, like the main character, like he's just like just gives no fucks, and he's just like, I just want to eat my coffee jelly and be left alone, but he can't get that. So it's a classic, like
See,
very silly, dumb show.
I love it because the main character is voiced by Psyche K is voiced by Jerry Jewell, and Jerry Jewell just does a great fucking leave me alone, I don't give a fuck voice.
Oh, it is wonderful.
Which is one of the
Wonderful.
reasons why the Netflix version kind of sounded weird to me, because it does a different dub.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that's like, ugh, I wish they didn't change the voice actors, but I understand why it happened. But still, me, me.
Uh, all right. So moving on now to number 15, it is Dragon Ball Super.
Ah, look at you go.
Dragon Ball Super. I'm not sure. Did it fall from last year? Yeah, it fell down like couple spaces. It was like 12 last year. But 15 is still fine. Yeah, the problem is it's kind of like I've seen it now 4 times, and like I like it still, but there's just been other shows that I've found more interesting.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
understandable.
But
You're
yeah,
not excused.
Dragon Ball Super is great. It's like a great mix of the comedy and action from the original series and Z. Fun humor. Just the animation's a little crap, but hey, that happens.
Mm,
I like Super though. I really want the fucking more of the manga to get adapted, but
yes.
that's besides the point.
My tractor.
Yeah,
Don't forget
there
my
was
tractor.
some iconic scenes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, what is your number 15?
My number 15, it dropped from number 9, and it's Black Clover. And the biggest reason why it's there is, again, the lack of content. I still love the show, and I can go back and rewatch episodes. Like, nowadays, like, if I go back and watch Black Clover, I will skip from parts to part just because I have my favorite, you know, episode arcs. So I'll kind of switch through to that. But it's one of those shows that it's just so silly, it's so goofy, and it's such a good story. And I feel like it's so underrated. And Yami's in it, and he's always taking a poop, and I relate to it more now because I have a poop. Her
Then
name is Pooh.
every character is likable for the most part.
Yes, the Black Bulls are all and they're all so developed too. Like that's the thing. It's like you'll have some squads where like not squads as in the show squads. I just meant like groups of people like in character groups that like you don't know half of them. And it's so good to see them all get so developed and so likable and you're rooting for them the whole time. So
Hmm.
yeah, I love Black Clover. I just wish they more would get animated, but I kind of feel like we're probably going to be waiting until the manga gets finished at this point before
Yeah,
anything gets considered. But you never know. I still have hope because you never know nowadays. There is always huge gaps now. So who knows?
yeah. Honestly, one of the ones I'll be getting to later is a prime example of that. But hey, we did get a movie though. Got a movie, and it was
Oh,
good. It was a good movie.
it was a good movie. So it gives me hope. Gives me hope.
All right. So now going on to my number 14 pick. It's dropped down a little bit. It was number 8 last year. Now it's number
Number
14. That is Azumanga Daioh.
Ah, that one.
Stop the car, Miss Yukari. Stop the car. Get it together. Get it together.
You quote it still to this day, so clearly it has an impact.
It's basically Seinfeld the anime. It's a show about nothing.
It is. It's a very stupid show, but I will admit I did enjoy it when I watched it.
So it is very much for a lot of people, I will say it's a one and done kind of anime. Like you watch it once, you enjoy it, and then you kind of never think about it again.
Yep.
I like it a bit more just because I really like the unhinged nature of it, where it's literally a show about fucking nothing.
Yep.
Just following like 5 high school girls in the weird fucking shit that happens in their school.
In the wild.
Like, eat your tomatoes.
That creepy cat man.
Voiced by fucking Beerus. I fucking love that.
That is insane to me. Still, I can't get over that.
Yeah, it's just a fun, wacky show. So many gifs that are just fucking quotable, like iconic. So many quotes. Just a good time all around. But yeah, Azumanga Daioh still on my list. It's fallen down a bit this year though.
Yeah.
What's your number 14?
My number 14 is new. It's a show I've watched and probably talked about at some point, but it never got on the list. But the end of last year, in the beginning of this year, I ended up rewatching the whole series and then watching the new seasons that came out, and I was hooked. And it was Dr. Stone, which I don't understand why I didn't get hooked on it the first time, because like a show like this is just very up my alley in terms of like nerdy, sciencey stuff. But I got super into it this year. And I'm really excited to see where it's going, because the story's been really interesting. Because at first, like the original plot was them, like, I mean, the general plot is that the world suddenly everyone is turned to stone, and the main character wakes up and he's a genius and he has to figure out basically how to save the world. And the first kind of plot arcs is that first is like, okay, we're trying to revive as much people as possible so we can survive. But then they revive maybe not the best choice. And then it ends up being 2 different sides of like, the main character wants to revive everyone, well, the other character wants to only revive the young people and not the old people. So it ends up becoming a battle. It goes into an actual war between them with like fighting, and there's science behind it. It's very cool. And then now they're going to space. They got to figure out how to get to space with primitive, no technology in the world. Like they're living basically in the Stone Age. So it's very interesting, and I got super hooked this year, and I would recommend it. It's a good watch. Excuse me.
Nice. So that's one that's like it had an original anime too, and they redid it, right?
No, it had manga.
No, I mean it had an anime way back, and they're doing a new version of it.
I don't think so.
I swear that was what someone said.
I mean, you might be right, but I've never heard of it. If it has, I thought it was pretty. I mean, because the manga's not that old. Manga's pretty new.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah,
whatever.
The manga only came out in 2017, so I don't think that happened. I think they might be thinking of something else.
I don't know. There's too many fucking animes now.
Yeah.
Anyways, now on to number 13. This is a new entry on my list. It is also my annual. Bill watches a random romance anime and likes it. My number 13 is Kimi ni Todake, From Me to You. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not sure. It's a name, but so this one has been on my radar for a while. but I have not watched it because it hasn't been dubbed. Like it was.
Oh yeah, you're a purist. I forgot. You're a dub
I
purist.
can't watch sub. I can't multitask, and it makes it unpleasant to watch, so I don't do it. Um, but yeah, it finally got a
Winner.
dub like last year
Mhm.
out of nowhere, and I finally decided to sit down and watch it because this is a show like I've been reading the manga and I really enjoy the manga for it, and it out of no so this the first two seasons came out like back in like 2000 like 9ish, I want to say. Like it's been dormant for over a decade and it's finally getting a third season.
Yeah.
So it kind of has been re-rejuvenated, but I like the story. It's cute. It's kind of
You.
it's kind of fruit baskets ish where it's like it's got this fun story, like it's kind of the typical like kind of girl that has massive anxiety, and she falls in love with the boy who's the most popular boy in the school, and it's kind of one of those things where like they immediately just kind of have a thing for each other, but they're too awkward to do anything about it.
Mm.
And it's funny because there's like two love triangles that happen simultaneously throughout the show where it's like there's a girl that likes the guy and there's a guy that likes the girl, but they're both like completely one-sided only into each other, so the love triangles go fucking nowhere, but they still cause problems throughout the whole thing.
Mhm.
But it's cool. It was a nice fun story. I enjoyed it.
Nice.
So what's your episode? Your 13?
My episode.
Yeah. Anime 13.
My number Oh wait, let me just make sure. Okay, my number 13 is it was dropped by one spot. It was number 12 last year. Now it's 13, and it's Jujutsu Kaisen. Again,
I'm
super good.
ready.
We already
Depression.
depression. It's so good, and I've been reading the manga, so I know everything that's happening, and I've been even more depressed. But we got some cool stuff happening now though, so it's pretty neat. But it's also lots of twists and turns. But I'm excited for the next season or a movie or whatever they decide to do. I don't know. They'll have
I think
one.
they already announced there's the next season's already in
Okay.
development.
Yeah, season 3. I'm ready for it. It's a great show. Just
I'm
don't
ready.
don't get a favorite
Depression.
character unless it's the main character, the main one, Yuji. He's the only one who's probably safe, but who knows at this point,
Well,
honestly.
he's already died like twice at this point.
Yeah,
So
he's already died and come back. So at this point, I feel like he's probably safe to make your favorite character. So I just say make Yuji your favorite character, and you'll probably be fine. But maybe not. Who knows?
did you see Jujutsu Kaisen had that McDonald's like tie-in and it was awful.
No, I didn't see that.
It was like this weird dipping sauce and it was apparently really gross.
It was cursed.
Yeah. We got an anime car in NASCAR. That was like the big thing that happened.
Nice.
Yeah, but moving on now for my number 12.
Number 9.
Do you like jazz, Alex?
Hell yeah, I do. Barry B. Benson. Where the hell is he?
Not that jazz.
Oh,
Um,
I don't like jazz
so
then.
this actually moved up. It was lower last year, but it is Cowboy Bebop, one of the most iconic anime probably ever all time.
Got a live
Um,
action.
that wasn't that bad. People have to stop being dramatic. Um,
They'll always be dramatic.
it wasn't like One Piece level of good, but it wasn't the worst thing ever.
You admit it's good.
I mean, it's universally acclaimed, Alex. You have to be kind of tone deaf to think it's bad at this point.
Good. You better
But
not be tone deaf in my house.
Cowboy Bebop's just a fun story. Like they're space cowboys, and every episode is kind of fun. It's just wacky shit. Great soundtrack, amazing animation, one of the best dubs in anime history. Just a fun time, and the freeform jazz. You have to get a taste for
You
freeform
like jazz? Barry B. Benson.
But yeah, Cowboy Bebop. It's been a staple on my list pretty much every year. It's still here.
I forgot to post this in the cursed image galleries, but I saw they made a little fan comic on Twitter of Barry B. Benson and the human lady's like cursed child. and it was terrible. So someone drew that. I'll find it again and I'll put it in the cursed image gallery so you can all see it and all be cursed. Like me.
Okay. What's your number 12, Alex?
My number 12 is new. It has nothing to do with jazz. But I actually watched this really recently and I just the hype I got it. The hype I got it. And it's Frieren Beyond Journey's End.
Yeah.
This show, like, oh my god, like in that very first episode, like I was like all up in the feels. I was sad, like, but also like so the story is centered around an elven mage named Frieren. And she's a former member of like this famous party of adventurers who defeated the Demon King. But one thing about elves is that elves can live for basically almost forever. So for her, it's interesting to see. For her, the world moves so differently compared to everyone else around her. So as her party members that she traveled with grow older, she stays the same. And for her, 50 years of time is nothing, where her party members, 50 years of time is their life. So she kind of experiences the first party member's death, which he was the main hero, and it really hit her. Himmel, his name is Himmel. It really hits her that like she didn't truly get to know him during that time, and she feels lots of regrets and lots of like loss. So she ends up, traveling. She ends up deciding that after that she wants to get to know people more before losing them, because life is so, for her, life is never ending, but for those around her, life is so short, so she only has such a short amount of time with them. So it's, I don't want to spoil everything because I think you should watch it because I thought it was excellent. But Freeren's amazing. The other characters that you'll meet along the way are amazing, and it kind of centers around her current life, but there's many flashbacks to like her past with the adventurers that she traveled with because they were famous. So no matter where she goes, like people end up recognizing her and they're like, "Oh, you're the elven mage who was part of that party who defeated them." So it was very, very good. The outro has a great outro, and they kept it for both seasons. They just kind of changed it up during the second season, but love the outro music. But very, very good. I definitely want to recommend it for a swap at one point because I think you'll also enjoy it. It's very much worth the hype. Very, very good.
I've heard. It's definitely on my list. I just don't know when I'll get to it.
Soon. You have to. It's very, very good.
Yeah. So
made me cry, which is hard in the show. So.
Well, I don't have a heart, so it's hard for me to show emotion.
I don't either. But like it got to me, like that episode where she's breaking down over Himmel. Like I was just like, I was like, I'm sorry, girl.
Like, I don't want to spoil you, and then immediately drops a spoiler.
Well, no, it happens like in the first. It's not really much of a spoiler. It's kind of, if you've seen both, it's not really a spoiler. I mean, it kind of is. I guess it's a spoiler, but it's a very good scene. You'll see it coming immediately. You know it's gonna happen. So.
All right. Moving on now to my number 11 pick. It is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. This one, I believe, it didn't move too far. Yeah, it moved down one. It actually swapped places with my number 10 pick. I mean, Full Metal Alchemist is a classic all the way through. Like, my buddy Matt told me, like, you get 3 episodes in, you'll be hooked. He was right. Episode 4 is a gut punch.
Dog.
Great story overall, though. Fun, everything about it. Like it's such a solid like experience all the way through, and I really did enjoy it like through and through. I just I don't think it's the greatest anime ever. Like I know some people do, but I really did enjoy it all the way. It's still one I give a rewatch every now and then.
Yeah. One Piece is the greatest anime ever. So we just to put that out there.
So what's your number 11?
My Number 11. I've mentioned it on it's probably been on every list of mine. But it actually moved up from spot 24 to 11. So, but it's just because I watch this show every single year. I listen to the music every single year. It is one of my favorite shows, and it just deserved to be higher. Especially as I cut a lot of stuff out because I dropped. Just looking at, I removed 1, 2, 3. I removed a whole row, 5, 6, 7, 8. I removed 8 shows, so that didn't make it this year. That made it last year because there's just been so much good stuff. But you know what? This one, it always holds up. Carol and Tuesday, I love it. It's a cute story. I mean, but they're also on Mars, and it's music. And if a show has good music that I will listen to, not while watching the show, it is a show for me. So Carol and Tuesday, I will scream it from the rooftops. You still need to watch it, Bill. You still need to do a swap. You're going to watch it. Only reason I haven't watched it recently is because I don't have Netflix, and I need to get Netflix account, but I just haven't done it yet because I was using bills, and then Netflix fucking sucks, and then it makes it so I can't even use it, even though he lives fucking down the street from me. Fuck you, Netflix. Sorry.
Yeah, you need one soon because you have like 5 different shows that you gotta watch on there.
Like half the shows, my favorite shows, are all fucking on there, and it's just like, God fucking damn it. So yeah. Which nice. One of those will be coming up shortly. Most of them.
Yeah. But yeah, so now moving on to we're into the final 10. My number 10 pick swapped with 11 last year, so it essentially this and Full Metal Alchemist swapped places. My number 10 is Black Clover. It may partially be because I'm collecting and reading the manga now. It might be because those intros and outros are fucking bangers, and it also might just be because it's a really fucking good story, and I really enjoyed in the movie kind of.
It doesn't get the credit it deserves.
No, it really because it came out right around it. It's very similar to Naruto, which I'm not saying Naruto knocked it at all, but I feel like it got overshadowed.
I'm saying it. The characters are better developed. The Black Bulls are way better developed. It's a better show. Fuck you.
They're better developed in the time frame that it takes for them to develop. I'll agree with you. I think they're both comparable shows, but obviously I put Black Clover higher on my list. I think. Well, I like because it has the aspect of like the main character and his rival are basically friends, and their rivalry is more superficial than everything.
Yeah, and they care about each other, and they are there to support.
It's got a real band of brothers kind of feel to it with like the Black Bulls.
Yami Sukihiro who's constantly taking shit. Well,
here's the thing: it's like the main crew is super developed, but then like all the side crew, like team, like groups, are also really developed. Even like the non-developed characters are still somewhat developed. We've got Haha, one of the best.
Haha.
Joke characters. Like
he's also pretty developed, and he gets a redemption arc later on. He does get redeemed, which is pretty
it's just a really solid show, and it's unfortunate because the manga is coming to an end. I'm pretty sure, but I mean that at least gives me hope they'll at least do like an Inuyasha final act and finish it.
I hope so.
But alas, I really like Black Clover. It has grown on me significantly, and it sucks because there's like zero merch for it, like zero anything.
There's no figures. Like I want a Yami Sukihiro taking a shit figure, and that doesn't exist, and I'm pissed about it. Like where else would he be? If there's a figure of him, where else would he be? He'd be on the toilet. That's where he always is. That's where his figure should be. I want it. Maybe I'll commission it one day. I want that fucking figure.
3D print it.
I might ask someone to make it for me because it doesn't exist.
Yeah. But that's my number 10. What is your number 10, Alex?
My number 10 dropped from number 6. But it's Dragon Ball Super. It's my favorite Dragon Ball. I love it.
The only one you've watched.
All right. I promise I'll watch regular Dragon Ball at some point and Dragon Ball Z at some point. And I'll watch Daima when that comes out. But this was my favorite. This is the only one that like really hooked me into Dragon Ball. Like I was like, okay, I will watch it. And it was so good and so funny. It has my favorite. I love the little Zeno guys. I love his tractor. It's a good for me. It's a good mix.
I love all the characters. I love these two that appear at the end, and I love the tractor.
I love Wheeze and I love Beerus. Like Beerus is my favorite. I love him, and I love Wheeze and the Angels, and um, I love Superhero. Like that one was really
That
good
was
with
such a
the
good movie.
androids. I just really enjoy Dragon Ball Super. It's
I'm
like
gonna
a perfect good mix of like comedic slash action, which it for me is a winner. So number 10.
I'm gonna start reading the manga for it pretty soon because I'm really interested in seeing the differences.
Superhero. Superhero. Superhero.
So number 9, moving on with the list, we have. So
Number
for
9.
me, my number 9 pick is. Okay, so this one dropped a bit. This was number 5 on my previous list. It's come down a bit, mostly just because other things I've been more interested in. But my number 9 pick is Golden Time, which is probably my favorite pure romance anime, I'd say.
Mm.
It's an interesting take on it. It's by the same author who did Toradora.
Mhm.
But it's instead of taking place in high school like most of these shows, it takes place in college. So it just kind of has a different vibe to it. The whole show, it's a quick 26er. It's got a fun story, good ending, good conclusion.
Mhm.
That's why it's kind of been in my top 10 on all my lists. So,
Nice.
what's your number 9?
My number 9 is My Happy Marriage.
Ah,
I love this show. And it actually, I would say this show kind of revived my interest in watching romance animes because I had been strictly like no romance, no any of that for so long.
fuck love and happiness. I want death.
Honestly, yeah, it was kind of a little bit like that. And it actually I watched it on a whim. I loved it. Well, I watched it because I saw that scene of the bitchy sister being a big old bitch and then just getting owned by the little granny who was protecting the main girl. And I was hooked.
I love it so much I can't remember any of the characters.
Learning the names. I'm sorry. It's been a while since I watched it, but I just remember the same thing of like when I watched it, I would go to work and I would just be like, fuck, I want to keep watching it. And I would be tempted to just like watch it.
The, the
You
biggest
know,
downside to it is it's only Mio. Yeah, it's only
well, I was thinking Miko and I was like, no, that's from Kaguya-sama. I was like, Mio, that's it.
but
It's only 12 episodes.
yeah, it's only 12 at the moment. The manga is also short. The light novel is like 7 volumes, I think, right now. So
Yeah. So we're gonna just hoping that there's more. But such
well,
a good pure story with a little bit of like mythical
yeah,
historical
the
fantasy is what
the
I'd say.
fantasy elements were a little off-putting at first, but I got used to them pretty fast.
Yeah.
Because it was originally I thought it was a pure like just standard anime, and then all of a sudden it's like
Yeah.
mystical, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. But the thing is that the story would not if it wouldn't have been the same story without those elements because it really does affect the Mio's life and how she was raised and treated. So it's very important to the story. So, but My Happy Marriage, definitely watch it. It's a good 12 episoder.
Yeah,
Soder.
goes quick. It's another great show where you'll hate everybody in the first couple episodes, and then other than the main character.
Yep. But hopefully it doesn't follow a show similar to that and just fall off after season 1.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. Not because it's on my list, but for other reasons.
Same.
So my number 8 pick, it actually went up one. It was 9 last year. It is Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho is just a fun anime. It's kind of what I put in like the junk. I put it in like that junk food tier of anime where it's like it's not the most fulfilling anime ever, but it's like great in like small dosages and like
very enjoyable.
It's a fun story. Like you can just pick out an episode and be like, this is fun. I enjoy this. Characters are all great. Amazing dub, like early funny dub. Great music, fun characters, great animation, just like overall awesome,
And
awesome
I
anime.
ruined the names for Bill, like Bobo.
You
Her
didn't
name's
ruin
not
them.
Boson anymore. I made them better. Bobo.
Well, one of them is just because you couldn't remember his name, and then
That
the
was
other
the
one.
funniest part. Well, no, it's just he said it so much that I just associated that his name was Urameshi, and it was not. That was the name of his friend.
That was the name of the main character.
I
Instead, you were
know.
thinking of Kuwabara the
I
entire time.
know. But I'm sorry. It's just because he always did, like Urameshi. Like that's how he said it every time, and it was just. I love that show. So good.
Very, very good. The final arc kind of falls off a cliff, but the ending makes up for it.
Yeah.
It has an ending. That's all that matters.
Yeah, at least there is an ending. We gotta keep up the pace because I'm gonna fall asleep.
Well, moving on. What's your number 8?
My number 8, it dropped down from number 7. It's only one spot. But it's Magi. I freaking love Magi. I've already talked about it a bunch, but it's a great show. It's fun, like when an anime is centered in such a different environment. Like the whole Arabian Nights theme is just like so fun and so different, especially compared to most anime scenes and places that they take place in, environments they take place in. So it's a really good show. I wish that the full manga got
Adapted.
adapted into the anime, but I'm collecting the manga slowly but surely. I'm still missing a bunch of volumes, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I got a tracker now, so I won't fuck up and buy 2 or get scammed. Hopefully not get scammed. But yeah, Magi, it's a good one. It only dropped down 1. And honestly, it got dropped down by another. I'll say it. I'll say it next time. Say who beat it.
Okay. So moving on now to my number 7 pick. This one dropped down 1. It is original Dragon Ball.
Wow.
Original Dragon Ball is interesting because it's definitely the most. It's the most unique Dragon Ball, but it's also kind of the hardest one to get into if you're used to the later ones.
Mm.
But it has the best story by far because it's like a coming of age growing up story that he goes through Goku's early days where he wasn't just OP and pulled fucking powers out of his ass. Great time though. I love original Dragon Ball.
And hair out of his head.
What's your number?
Hair
What's
out
your
of his hair.
What's your number 7?
My number 7 is the Apothecary Diaries. I watched that one and I was hooked, and then I was so hooked I said, fuck it, I'm gonna watch it all again. And I rewatched it like a month after. So clearly I really enjoyed this show. It had been on my list to watch for quite a while, and I was just waiting for the dub to come out because I knew it was gonna be fully dubbed. And when it finally did, I was like, oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. And I love the main character. I love Mao Mao. Her name is excellent, but also like she's like her story is like she's just so cool because she's an apothecary, so she works a lot with poison. So she ends up working at the palace, not by choice, by force. She got kidnapped and was forced to work there. But she ends up going from palace servant into being the food taster, a lady in waiting, and then a food taster for one of the royal concubines. Because she gets found out that she's smart and she knows what she's talking about. It's a really interesting story. There's a lot of like mystery elements to it of like something will happen. Well, you'll see that there is an overarching plot that is happening throughout. You don't necessarily know what it is at first, but as you go on through the story, you're like, okay, something's happening. And it's really good. I don't want to spoil it, but I definitely recommend you watch it. It's a real good time. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So my number 6 pick. This one was probably the biggest jump on my list because it went up a whole 8 spots, and that is Spy Family at number 6.
Number 6.
Because Spy Family has become my favorite comfort show now, where it is just an entertaining romp the entire way through. It is a wacky adventure. The characters are all fucking great for different reasons, and they all work so well together. I can't wait for season 3 because I've read the
Um,
manga and I know where it goes, and I cannot wait for what they adapt next.
I'm also pumped for season 3. So, I mean, it made my list this year, which is pretty good because it was not on the list ever. So, yeah.
I love the feel of it, like that, like 80s. I'm assuming 80s or 70s, like I'm assuming Cold War era Germany ish. I'm assuming Europe. Basically, it's hard to tell
Yeah.
sometimes, but I just love the vibe. I love the music, and I love the just action and everything. I can't wait to see where this series goes. But yeah, it's almost in the top 5. Who knows what'll happen next year? So, what's your number 6?
My number 6, I dropped from number 4, and I love this series. I will always love it. It'll always be one of my favorites, but there's just like so many that I also love. So my top 6, it was really hard to. Well, all right. The top 2 was easy, but 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, and 6 were very difficult. They're all honestly kind of tied. It was very hard. But number 6 is JoJo's. I love JoJo's. I will always love JoJo's, but there's so many other really good shows too. And I mean, we kind of got left off on the Jolene arc of the anime, which was excellent, but I kind of haven't really heard any other news of any more adaptations, so it's kind of been a standstill. I mean, the manga is still going on, I'm pretty certain, but yeah, kind of just waiting for another anime series.
Yeah,
I love JoJo.
JoJo's roundabout. Walk like an Egyptian.
Walk like an Egyptian. Ding, 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 ding. Yep.
Maybe someday I'll watch it.
Now, watch it. Now.
So moving on now to number 5. This one moved up 2 spaces. It is that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Wow.
Really enjoying this show. I love the whole. So I'm not the biggest isekai fan, but I kind of like this one just because of the whole. It's an isekai where he literally shows up and he's just a fucking blob monster that's OP.
Yes.
And everybody loves him, and he just like fucking. He's like a fucking demon lord now, and he's fucking OP as shit. But
Yes.
The current season going on right now is really interesting. It's like a kind of a different take, like a different. It's in a much different place than I thought the series would be when watching season 2. But I am really enjoying it. I love the characters. Everyone is goofy as fuck. Like it's a really goofy world where like the most OP creature is a slime.
It's a great show. I'll watch the newest season. Is it season 3?
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch season 3 when it comes out, when it's fully dubbed out. Because you know me, I like to just binge.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good one.
Nice. So what's your number 5?
My number 5, it moved from spot 15 back up to number 5 where it belongs. Because I think it might have been number 5 on my very first list at one point. But Haikyuu.
Oh yeah, Haikyuu was low that one time, and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, it was just I don't know why it was, but yeah, because I will go back and rewatch the show with. I love the show so much, I will watch it with subs. And for me, like especially, it is so hard for me to go back and watch a show when you've watched it fully dubbed and then have to go back to sub because dub just disappeared from the universe. Because fuck, why? But yeah, I will go back and rewatch it sub, and I really enjoy it. It's such a good show. They're volleyball bros. They're all pretty hot. It's great. It's a great time. We love volleyball, and I can't wait. And the new movie came out, which I still need to see. Unfortunately, the timing, I just did not have time to go see it. Unfortunately, it kind of sucks. But I can't wait for it to come out so I can watch it. And I just can't wait for them to finish adapting it because the manga ends already. They came out with 3-in-1s, which I'm like, yes, I can finally buy it. but I love the ending. The ending is perfect, like for the for the show and the main character. So I can't wait. I can't wait for it to be animated.
Nice.
We want Brazil. We want the Brazil arc now.
Nice. So my number 4, moving up on the list, is this one that dropped down by 1 spot. It is My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu, which it's only dropped down because the show that replaced it, I've just gained more of an appreciation for. But I still like this show. It's been over for a while now, so it's kind of one of those things where it's not, nothing new is gonna change my opinion on it, but other things have just, I found other shows I like more. It is still a fun little romp where it combines typical high school rom-com like aspects, but it also has like this weird, deeper philosophical like background where like it makes you kind of think. Like the main character is very atypical from the traditional rom-com protagonist because he's kind of a shithead for most of it. But yeah, I like this show. It's a fun watch.
Hey.
So what's your number 3?
My number 3.
Number 4. Number 4.
Number 4. I was gonna say, wait a minute. My number 4. It's kind of 2 series, but they're the same. It's just the newer version and the older version. But it was number 2. It did get bumped down to number 4. Still love the series, but Trigun / Trigun Stampede. Love it. Can't wait for the new Trigun Maximum books to come out. They're gonna be amazing. They're gonna be like the Hellsing Ultimate ones. Those nice, really super leather bound books. And the Berserk ones, yeah. Can't wait for that. But I found Trigun and also Trigun Stampede Season 2. I think it's like Trigun, like I forget what it's called, but they announced it, so I'm pretty certain that's what they announced. But they announced a new thing, so we're getting more Trigun. Let's go! Woo!
Nice.
So yeah, Trigun, great show.
Nice. So after that, my number 3 pick, this one moved up 1. It is Kaguya-sama Love is War. The best rom-com ever made, in my opinion.
Well, I'm gonna guess I know what your number 1 is. I'm pretty certain at this point. I'm pretty certain I know what yours is, and I feel like you probably know what mine is.
I'm pretty sure yeah.
Do you know my top 3? I guess at this point.
I'm not quite sure. You probably know mine, but yeah, Kaguya-sama Love is War, though. Great story overall. I just love the fact that it's a romance story about 2 people that are incredibly in love with each other, but they refuse to admit their love for each other. So they legit have a war of love to make the other confess. And the comedy is on point. The narrator is the best character in the fucking show.
Oh yeah.
Ian Sinclair has way too much fun. The background characters are great. Everything about the show is like peak rom-com comedy. Definite recommend. I don't know if it's ever getting a season 4, but the manga is complete now, so finish the story.
Woo!
So what's your number 3, Alex?
My number 3 is Dorohedoro.
Okay, I know what your top 3 is now.
You know you mean my top 2 is.
No, I know your top 3 now, because you just admitted.
Well, yeah, but okay. Well, you know my top 2 then for certain. I just didn't. I'm tired. Dorohedoro, love the show. Season 2 is on the way. Can't wait. So excited.
Gotta buy Netflix.
I know. I'm gonna have to get a Netflix. I will next month. It's just been like I don't want to buy it until I actually commit to go watching the show. So I'm kind of waiting, and then I'll go purchase it. But I just gotta do it. But yeah, Dorohedoro, love it. It's very, I feel like it's underappreciated, and it should be appreciated more. So Bill appreciated it, right, Bill?
I liked it. It wasn't close to being on my list, but I did enjoy it.
Fuck you, bitch! Get it on that list right now.
It's the story about Blonde Girl and Lizard Man.
It's more than that. It's about Princess Peach and Yoshi. Dumbass.
and Heart Mushroom Man.
That's a Goomba, Bill. The plot is Mario, if you haven't.
Kind of. Oh.
This was a joke, but then it started to become too real. It's not. It's not like Mario. It's not like Mario at all. Okay.
It was a joke. It was a joke, and then you realized, wait a minute, it works.
It became too real. All right, moving on.
Okay, so my number 2 pick. It's been the same for every list we've done. It's Fruit Baskets. I love the 2019 version. I have to
Wait, was
specify.
Oshinoko on your list?
No, just because I like Oshinoko, but haven't watched season 2 yet. It's not out, and let's face it, that manga's getting weird. Like,
okay.
I still like it, but I'm just stating it. My enjoyment of it has kind of gone a little down just because the fan base is weird and the manga's current direction is a little weird.
All right, understandable.
I am still gonna watch season 2 though.
Yes.
But yeah, so Fruit Baskets, it's the iconic slice of life, sad, hit you in the feels show.
Whopper, Junior, Whopper. Sorry. Tora gets pushed off a cliff. Whopper.
I've said the same thing every year, though. I love the story. I love the characters. It is a complete story. Like, everybody's developed other than Monkey Man.
Monkey Man.
He doesn't get development at all. But I just love it, and the ending is perfect to me. I'm up for a rewatch at some point. Great dub, great music, just great feels and everything.
You're right in the feels.
So what's your number 2, Alex? I already know what it is, but tell the audience.
It has my favorite intro music to Torture Village. It is Welcome to Demon School Aruma-kun. I love this show. It's one of my comfort show. Like, I go back and I rewatch and I just like laugh because it's so silly. But it's Welcome to Demon School Aruma. It's a great show. I haven't heard anything about season 4, and I'm really sad about it because I want season 4. But at least we're getting manga, which is pretty great. Got 8 volumes now, and there's only more to come. So I can't wait. Hopefully season 4 comes out soon, or I'll cry.
You can hang out with the Kaguya-sama fans who are still waiting as well. So
Shh. We're better than that.
Yeah.
All right, Bill, I know you're number 1. I'll just say it for you. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah. If you're unpleasant, this will backfire on you.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna be unpleasant, so
okay.
Never mind.
All right.
Inuyasha.
Yes, my favorite is still Inuyasha. It is a classic. I got up at 5 a.m. to watch that shit back in the day. That's how you know I was dedicated.
I like how you're referring to it as shit.
I mean, all anime is kind of shit. So.
Yeah. Whopper. Oh, you're wearing an Inuyasha shirt.
I am, ironically, but it was because it was the first thing on the pile.
True fan right there.
But yeah, I love Inuyasha. Great story, great characters. It's like the one long anime that I'll try to watch at least once a year. Very classic. I love the slapstick nature of it, and it has a satisfying ending. Got a sequel it didn't really need, but the ending is satisfying.
I won't watch it. Sorry, Bill.
I don't really care.
Yeah, you do. You care deeply. Really? You cry about it. You cry every time. You cry every time.
So tell everybody why your number 1 pick is One Piece, Alex.
Well, there's so many things I could say, but it's just a masterpiece in terms of anime. It's the greatest show that ever came out. Oda is a genius. It just gets better and better every time. The animation has gotten so better. We got Gear 5. Gear 5 is out and fully ready. We got Egghead Island. Oh, it's so good. We have the best live action. The show was so good. It's getting remade from the beginning.
You're going to have 3 different shows to watch now, all One Piece.
I know. I'm going to be busy. I'm going to love every second of it because
you're going to watch the original, the live action, and then the other anime.
Holy shit, it just ran. Miss Pooh just like sprinted across the room. She's flumped. Nice. And she's playing with her toy on her belly. But One Piece, you should watch it. It should be number 1 on Bill's list too. But
I don't have 4 years to like
every
to
day.
watching that.
I watched it in the span of like a couple months. You can do it.
I don't have time for that.
Make time. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Good.
But it's interesting. A few shows did not make the cut this year around.
Oh yeah, same.
Particularly Rising of the Shield Hero. That one fucking fell off.
Yeah, that one also fell off my list.
It's like that first season fucks so hard. And then
it's so good. And then like it's just
everything after is just mediocre and just
it's not. I mean, there's definitely parts where I'm like, it's not.
Season 2
I feel like it's not as terrible as it's slow. Season 2 is very, very slow.
It's like it kills.
I like the penguin lady. No, the whale lady. She's the whale lady. But yeah,
the problem
that's really
is
all I remember.
Yeah, the problem is season like 2 just kind of kills your enthusiasm. Then by the time you get to 3, you're just so over it.
Oh, in season 3, I really hate that they tried to make the other heroes redeemable, but like the main part is that you hated them because they were assholes, and that's what made Naofumi so much better. And I'm like, I don't feel bad for these fuckers. Like I don't. They're going through the same thing Naofumi did, and I don't feel bad for them. They deserve it. Like, so
my only other drops were Ace Attorney fell off the list, not because I dislike it, just because there's other stuff. And Komi fell off the list because it's been like 2 years and there's been nothing new. So I mean,
yeah, I had a couple more that fell off. I mean, Rising of the Shield Hero for me too. My Hero Academia. It's a good show. It's just there's so many better shows.
I thought it smelled better in here.
There's so many better ones. Hunter x Hunter, which I feel like Hunter x Hunter will be back on my list at some point if I go back and rewatch it. And hey, maybe we'll get more. Truthfully, I don't think we'll ever get any more anime at this point, just due to the whole at this point, there's a chance that the manga won't ever be finished. It's a very likely chance.
It's going to be another Berserk kind of thing.
I mean, just going on how to. I mean, apparently a new chapter is coming out, but it stinks. But I've kind of almost given up on it. Like it kind of sucks to say, but yeah. One Punch Man also fell off.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. Apparently, I saw something about season 3, and then I heard that season 3 might have been canceled. So.
Well, that's the thing, because I'm like, Mappa was supposed to make it, but then now Mappa's making the Ranma remake, and I'm like, when do they have time for anything?
No, I don't know. So that might not happen. Mob Psycho 100, that kind of fell off too because I don't know.
It ended.
I know. Well, but also remember, I was not happy with how it ended. I was a little upset with how it ended. I didn't like the ending. So it kind of fell off for that reason. And then Ass Class was on here. Oh, and then Chainsaw Man is on here. Parasite was also on here, which
I'm surprised Parasite fell off your list.
I love Parasite, but there's only so much. There's just so many really good shows. Like that's the thing. Like the new shows that I put on there, like I freaking loved. Like Apothecary Diaries, I loved. My Happy Marriage, I loved. Frieren, I loved. Like so, it was really hard. And Dr. Stone, like that one, I freaking love. Mashley, Bullock, like all of those shows, like just a lot of really great shows came out, and just like it sucks, but it pushed them off. Ranking of Kings, that one also fell. I was really into that, but then it took a while for the next season to come out, and I just like have not touched it.
It's amazing how a slump in releases can kill your enthusiasm for a show.
Yeah, it most definitely can. So I'm hoping I'll eventually get back to that again, but just not anytime soon. There's just so many other shows that I want to watch. Like I was planning after the podcast to watch an episode of this new show, but I'll just binge a bunch tomorrow. But I started watching Kaiju number 8, and I was fucking hooked. Don't scratch the couch. And I was fucking hooked. Love it. So, and I've been wanting to watch it all day, and I can't. So that shows how much I want to watch it. But we had to record a podcast. Just kidding. Just kidding.
All right. Well, that should do it for today. I think our next anime thing, we were thinking about maybe trying to get the round table back together. That's TBD right now, though, because that's a lot of planning. But
Yes.
anyways, guys, once again, thanks for joining us on the Gaming Collecting Podcast. You can find the Gaming Collecting Podcast on all your major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can also find us over on the Superpod network of podcasts. That's superpodnetwork.com. You can find all sorts of awesome shows, videos, blogs, all sorts of fun stuff, including shows like Superpod Saga, Super Ghost Radio, Retro Rehab, Tommy's Video Game Ride Along, Find Time, Remember 64, Bar Silence, The Elder Trolls, Friday Night Gamecast, Gaming Together.
Oh,
can you not do that while I'm trying to remember these people? Yeah, you can find all of those shows there. I apologize if I missed someone because of my interruption there. But yeah, you can find all of their links there. And
don't mute me. Don't
you
mute
deserve
me,
that.
Bitch.
But anyways, guys, you can also join us over at the GNC Podcast Network Discord server. And you can find all of our links at linktree/TheBarProoGames.
No.
And with that, everybody, we will see you all later.
No, don't join the Discord. It's my Discord. No one else is invited. If you join, I'll call the weed police. Bill! Bill! Bill!
The hell's wrong with you?
Everything. I'm insane. Goodbye. Forever. Peace out, Cub Scout.
We'll see you guys later.
Bacon. Cheese.